These are stars, beauty icons, and diva accomplishments ahead in Hollywood. Ironically, what if I told you that there's more to Golden Age movies and red carpets than you know? A story of pain, tragedy, and loss. Today, we're lifting the veil on the 25 worst drug addictions in Hollywood history and how success can turn to despair for anyone, even celebrities. Stay tuned as we reveal stories of those who took the battle with addiction head-on and see how their stories still matter today. 25. Marilyn Monroe. Monroe was a woman with brilliant destiny who was suffering from prescription drug addiction most of her life. Her fatal overdose occurred in 1962. 24. Robert Downey Jr. Another best success story you can ever get from the industry of acting is that of Robert Downey Jr. and his problems with drug addiction. He ascended from years of fighting and now fights for the people to recover. 23. Corey Haim. Corey Haim was another actor who started using drugs when he was still a youth. He died in 2010 due to the side effects of prescription medication, as we always warn, especially those in the acting profession. 22. River Phoenix. River Phoenix follows this up as a young, talented actor whose life was cut in the prime due to heroin addiction. He died a shocking death outside the Viper Room in 1993. 21. Britney Spears. A breakdown of Britney Spears focuses on the aspect of mental health and substance misuse. She has advocated for her independence during her conservatorship. It has raised restoration issues and people's rights. 20. David O. Selznick. Selznick had an alcohol problem which interfered with his working relationships and choices. He relied on alcohol, and as this spiraled, his working capability, as well as overall health, started deteriorating in his later years. 19. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid struggled with cocaine addiction during the 1980s. He said he used cocaine almost daily. Quaid had the white light, converted spiritual experience in which he saw that his life was headed nowhere and would likely either deteriorate or rot in prison. In 1990, 18. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars has spoken of taking drugs and the ills of fame, which encourage abnormal existence models. His journey also teaches about self-discovery. 17. Zac Efron. Efron came under pressure due to some personal issues that affected his career. Hence, he sought alcoholism treatment. Since then, he has not shied away from talking about how he overcame his addiction issue, the major strength being taking care of the mind. 16. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey struggled with her struggles connected with addiction to food and excessive emotional eating. Her case illustrates the bigger problem of dependence on resources. 15. Brittany Murphy. Brittany tragically passed away on January 16, 2009, at the age of 32 years. Press releases stated that she had adopted several different medications, some of which include pain relievers and antidepressants. 14. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney was an alcoholic for most of his years. He had received treatment on several occasions, yet he encountered various aspects concerning his addiction. Years later, Rooney became a spokesperson for recovery from addiction. 13. Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy struggled with alcoholism issues at the beginning of his work. However, he only spoke about these challenges in his later years and campaigned for recovery and cognizance of these problems. 12. Daniel Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin has openly fought substance abuse problems for most of his career, specifically with cocaine addiction in the 1990s and the early 2000s. He has not shied away from publicity by asking for help from people several times in his life. 11. Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin's life was full of ups and downs. Sweetin was once an addict who had to trace her problems to methamphetamine, which came with a score of bad effects when she was in her 20s. 10. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore got into drugs at a tender age and checked into rehab a few times before she was finally able to get clean at 20-something. 9. Stephen King. Stephen King spoke about his problem with alcohol and drug addiction during the 1980s freely. His bad habit regarding the use of substances impacted his writing and personality until he got help after getting to the lowest point. 8. Judy Garland. Judy Garland also had issues with prescription drugs, as most doctors intended to help her control stress from a celebrity. She died at 47 from an overdose of drugs, proving addiction affects even the best. 7. Jeff Conaway. Jeff Conaway was a famous actor who featured in the Grease movie but battled drug problems most of his life, cocaine and alcohol issues to be precise, before he died of pneumonia, which was allied to his drug influencing at the age of 60. 6. Elvis Presley. In the later part of his life, Elvis had a hard time dealing with prescription drug dependency. His reliance on drugs led to several health problems before he died of a drug overdose in 1977. 5. Mischa Barton. Barton was known to battle alcohol and prescription drug addiction, which saw her get into public trouble in what appeared to be attempts to commit suicide. 4. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has drenched disappointments, including dependence on prescription drugs, painkillers, and sleeping pills, to mention but a few. He made his dependency reach its climax. In 2009, he was found dead due to an overdose. 3. Joanna Moore. Joanna Moore battled alcoholism during her acting years. Her dependency haunted her personal and working life, particularly with her children. 2. Mary-Kate Olsen. Mary-Kate Olsen suffered from anorexia nervosa and substance abuse disorder in her early adulthood. These problems started in 2004 treatment before coming back to her success as a fashion designer and an activist for mental health. 1. Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal is an actor who has been fighting drug intake throughout his acting career, especially with cocaine during his 1970s and 1980s career. O'Neal has advocated for professional assistance a few times in the past while struggling with personal loss. How do you feel about these stories? Do you or someone you know need help in such areas? Please use the comment section below to share your thoughts. Take this message to heart. If you or a loved one has a substance abuse problem, getting help is the first step towards healing. Thank you for reading. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more informative videos about Hollywood secrets.